This episode of The Give and Go is brought to you by Verizon, an official sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. If you're with Verizon like us, you have the opportunity to score golden tickets to watch a portion of the FIFA World Cup from the field for the first time ever and closer than ever before. Enter now for a once-in-a-lifetime chance to win this exclusive pitch-side access in the My Verizon app.
And if you're not a Verizon customer, make the switch today. Don't miss out. The Golden Ticket Sweepstakes ends on November 20th. This FIFA World Cup, nobody gets you closer than Verizon. For terms and conditions, check out My Access within the My Verizon app.
Hello and welcome back to The Give and Go. I'm your coach Reynoso here with my boy
Soltero, what's up, y'all?
The greatest international window of all time, bro. Potentially one of, after what we experienced this week, bro. Yeah, insane performances all around the world. It's the beauty of international football, man. What a week that we just experienced. And today specifically, crazy results all around with Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Austria, Spain, Scotland, Switzerland, Panama, Curacao, and Haiti officially qualifying to the World Cup.
Yes, sir, man. Bro. Yes, sir. Welcome to the World Cup, baby.
Welcome.
Come on, man. We almost have all 48 entrants.
Almost.
We're so close. Everything's shaping up. But, dude, you're right. This kind of gave me shades of 2018 World Cup qualification where the USA didn't make it on the last day. Panama qualified. Right. Peru qualified last minute. There's just so much going on at that time. Today is the same thing, man. There's just so much drama in every single confederation.
So much drama with, you look at the AFC region, Iraq, and what they pulled off. You look at Europe and the crazy games that we saw today, Scotland, who we'll talk about in a second. But even beyond the official qualifiers, the friendlies, Mexico, USA, Brazil, tied Tunisia today. Crazy results, bro. Yeah. Where do we start? I'm truly lost here, bro. I don't know where to start because I have so much to say on Mexico. I'm sure you want to speak on the USA. The Inter-Confederation Playoffs is officially set. Yeah. We got to dissect that. Yeah. We got to look at what happened in UEFA. I don't know where to start, bro.
Well, let's start with my beautiful USA. Because this was going to be quick and easy, man. This is going to be quick and easy. What a result. What a performance. 5-1 against Uruguay. And from the moment that this game started, Uruguay had no chance. And I wasn't expecting that, to be completely honest. I knew we were going to beat Uruguay, but I did not expect a 5-goal thrashing against the South American side. I really wasn't expecting it. But you look at the goals, the opener, Sebastian Berhalter getting cheeky with the free kick. Beautiful curling finish. Diego Luna with a really nice one-time touch finish. Freeman just looking like a winger. I haven't seen him do that before. Just slicing and dicing in the box. Just perfect performances from the USA side in this match. What really stood out, and I've been saying it since October, what has changed for me has been the mentality, the tenacity, the determination. But today, for the first time in 2 years, I see that same tenacity, that same determination coupled with technique, coupled with sharpness. This was the fastest and most crisp passing display that I've seen this USA side put on in legitimately 2 years. It's ridiculous what I saw today. Gets me insanely excited because we've been building up to this type of performance. If this is what we can hold, if this is what we can manage and package and play consistently, then I get very excited for what we can do in the summer.
100%. You're right. The players all played to the best of their abilities in this game. On top of the effort, on top of the passion, and it results in a 5-goal thriller. But what do you make of that then? Because obviously a lot of expected starters for the USA at the World Cup didn't play in this game, or he didn't even play in the last game. Pulisic wasn't even here this window, but it's been an incredible window so far for the USA. What do you make of this? Because it says that the USA now has really good depth, but I mean, does this lineup start at the World Cup, or is it a completely new set of guys that are new faces in the team? 8 out of 11 new names into the lineup.
I think a couple things. First off, let's look at the consistent names we see. Matt Freese, right? I think this is his 11th start in a row. He is the number one goalkeeper. I have no qualms, no concerns about him at the back. But then I look at guys like Serginho Dest, who's just recently getting the call-up again after coming back from injury. I think his play has been great. You know, maybe he's not getting the goals, maybe he's not getting the assists, but his ability one-on-one, we don't really have a player like that out wide, outside of Christian Pulisic, to be completely honest. So I think what Dest has given us in his few minutes and his few appearances recently has been fantastic. So maybe we're not seeing a lot of consistency from Dest, but what we do see is very promising. So that's what I like to see. But then on the other side, Tolkien, my goodness. Whatever he's doing in the Bundesliga, he's completely transformed his play over this last 12 months. I remember seeing him in the last MLS Cup with New York Red Bulls. A great player, but he looked so sharp today. He looked, honestly, of European talent. And I think that point is just depth. We have depth now. Having Tolkien and Arfston in that position, and then possibly a healthy Anthony Robinson, all three of those guys can start for this USA side. And I think that's what Poch is getting out of this, is maybe we don't exactly know who the starter is going to be, but whoever it is, Tolkien, Arfston, or Robinson, I actually have full faith in them. And I'd say that's my biggest point when it comes to this USA side. Yes, there's a lot of shifts, but whoever's playing, they're giving 10 out of 10 when it comes to determination. And then today, like I said, the technique was completely there on display. So I think for Poch, the question still remains, who is going to be the starting 11? But if anything, I think the depth is getting a lot better for this USA side. So it gets me very excited.
What's the take then on this Uruguay team who ends up having a terrible window, bro? Tying Mexico and then losing here to the USA, a team that showed no life today and got absolutely murdered in that first half. And honestly, I thought put out a better lineup in this game than the Mexico game on paper, but kind of continues their narrative of playing really bad, really boring Bielsa ball. Yeah. It's concerning, bro. And it's kind of a take I have brewing just in terms of the performances we've seen from CONMEBOL teams post World Cup qualifiers for them specifically. It's been bad, bro. It's been bad showings. And what would you make out of this as an Uruguay fan, seeing them lose like this to the USA and not being able to beat Mexico?
I'd be very worried, honestly, if I'm Uruguay. I think if you just be as honest as you can, they peaked at the Copa America. And you look at their results since then, and even just look at what you see on the pitch, it's been a downward trend for them. And the reason really is, just look at the quality that's on the pitch, man. Look at Uruguay's front line. Even if you add in Darwin Nunez, it's not good, man.
Front line doesn't get better.
It doesn't get better. Like, it's probably one of the worst in all of CONMEBOL, if you're being completely honest. What, you're going to rely on Facundo Torres? You're going to rely on Brian Rodriguez to be those guys?
I really don't want to.
And then even ask yourself to rely on Viñas or Darwin Nunez. These guys are not clinical in front of goal. So you're asking Uruguay's offense to do something that I just don't think they actually can. It's not real what you're asking out of this Uruguay side. Now, what do they have? They have runners. They have very physical players, Ugarte, Valverde, when he's playing, obviously, Araujo, but at the end of the day, these are just purely defensive type of guys. If you want to score with Uruguay, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening.
I agree. I think you put Valverde in here, maybe it ends up being a 3-1. Sure. Maybe it's a 2-1. I think he adds more solidity, more discipline in the midfield. I mean, that's a world-class player, so I don't want to undermine his presence. But I was thinking about the Darwin Nunez effect, because a lot of people are going to comment, no Darwin Nunez. Unless he's doing something in Saudi that I haven't seen and I don't know about, I don't see him as a solution up top, especially when you compare Uruguay's offense to what it once was in the 2010s at its peak. In 2010, with Forlan, with Luis Suarez, with Edison Cavani. People criticize the Mexican national team for not playing the way that they used to. I think Uruguay is a very similar type of energy right now, bro.
Yes.
And I would love to know what Uruguayans think, because they're not going to get anywhere close to their peak offensive form. And they don't have the defense either to really back it up, as we saw today. So it's a concerning time for Uruguay, because they also weren't super convincing in World Cup qualification. They were good enough to get through, but they weren't convincing. Concerning time for Uruguay, as this is how you end your break until March 2026, bro. It's a concerning sign losing to this USA team, but obviously I don't want to take any credit from the USA, because I think I can officially say, bro, I think Poch is cooking.
Yeah.
He's cooking, bro.
He's cooking.
He's chefing it up. And what a result. I think he has had this plan ultimately in the long term, and it's finally paying off despite having a very slow start.
Yeah, and that's my biggest takeaway is the plan to bring a MLS heavy team at the Gold Cup is actually paying off.
Yeah.
Because the point of this USA team's depth being now a positive characteristic to them, it's because of this Gold Cup. And it's because of Poch sticking to that idea of, I'm going to select 20 to 25 players and I'm going to shift it around. It's actually worked because the players that do play, they get confidence every time they put on this USA jersey. They may not know that they're going to start, but they know that if Poch calls them up, they have a chance to play. And when they do play, they try as hard as they can to prove that they should start. So the competition that Poch has built within this side, there's 20, 25 players all vying for a starting spot. I was critical of that approach, but it's actually worked, man, because you get this result, 5-1 with a completely changed squad. And I trust Diego Luna now. I trust him that whether he's starting, coming off the bench, dude, he's going to play his goddamn heart out. He's got the skill to get a really nice through ball in or score a goal. But it's the same thing with guys like Tolkien, with Aiden Morris. I don't know if they're going to start, but what I do know, if they play, they're going to play their hearts out. And I think that's all down to Poch's approach to this USA squad.
It's positive, dude. It's super positive, and I love that USA fans have this because I saw y'all hit a dark place in that Gold Cup.
Yeah.
So, and I actually was worried if there was a solution there. It sounds now after these friendlies that you guys have really benefited from these tests, from these matches. Yeah. It's been huge for y'all, so I'm happy because just like Mexico, I want the USA to have a really good World Cup with the fans behind them. This is the perfect way to finish off 2025. 5-1 result against Uruguay. Amazing. Let's talk Mexico. Let's talk Mexico as they lose at the Alamo Dome 2-1 to Paraguay. Brother, why don't you give me your thoughts first? Because obviously I have a lot to say. But I'm curious about what you thought about this game.
Just snapshot summary. I thought Mexico didn't play horribly. At the end of the day, it wasn't a bad performance for Mexico. But I will say, with the USA playing their best that I've seen in like 2 years, this is probably one of Mexico's worst performances I've seen over the last year and a half. For me, it's probably one of Mexico's worst performances.
Okay.
That's from
I think you contrasted what we saw from USA. Actually, I could see that perspective. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought Paraguay, if anything, really showed up to this game. And the ways that I previewed it before going into this match, these fools, for all things considered, I think mailed in that performance against the USA. Because in this game, you could tell there's an emotional investment in the fact that they're facing off against a Mexican team that, in the preview I said, they want to make aware of their rise. And not just Mexico, but the world. Paraguay had an incredible World Cup qualifying campaign, defeating big teams in the process. That USA performance, I think, kind of left a chip on their shoulder that we saw showcase itself in this match against Mexico, where it was physical, it was very intense, and honestly very competitive. Just from a neutral perspective, I thought it was a really good friendly to watch because it was back and forth, and both teams were playing like there were stakes on the line, bro. Yeah. Stakes on the line. So, bro, I'm watching this game. Obviously, as a Mexico fan, it's the most nervous I've been watching a Mexico game in like a year and a half, bro, because there's something on the line here. There's a true test that's being thrown at us from this Paraguay team, and I wanted to win, dude. I wanted to win, but I think obviously going into this game, a big narrative for Mexico has been the lack of winning in our past 4 or 5 friendly matches.
Yes.
We're tying teams. We're showing good performances, in my opinion, but we're not winning these matches. And so what we have here is ultimately a game that's back and forth. Paraguay gets that first one through a really wacky goalkeeper tackle deflection goal from Sanabria, I believe. Makes it 1-0. Immediately, Mexico responds with Orbelin. Really good intuition, drawing a penalty. Raul Jimenez scores a beautiful pen, makes it 1-1. But then immediately after, a scramble. It's a scramble, and Paraguay scores to make it 2-1. But I thought Mexico's response was really good. I thought it was really positive after that point. We tried our best to impose ourselves on Paraguay with the weapons that we had at our disposal. Just weren't able to find that second goal. But when it comes to friendlies, I think my biggest thing is just gauging how do we play against this other team and are we at that level? Seeing how we played today against Paraguay, I think we are at Paraguay's level. And so that's why I'm not as harsh on the result. Yes, we lost and I wanted to win, but Paraguay's a good team. And I think we're at their level. Uruguay, we're at their level. Ecuador, we're at their level.
Yeah.
And so ultimately I'm like, damn, we lost this game, but it is what it is. 2-1. I think you play this again in a World Cup setting, we can definitely win it.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to end on. I'm glad you ended on that because obviously Aguirre actually changed a lot of this squad, and I look at the two center backs, no Montes, no Vasquez. I mean, that's your heart and soul of this entire team. So I think I did not like how often Paraguay got through Mexico. That's why I say this was one of their worst performances in a while. But I really do think if Montes and Vasquez start, if Edson's in front of them rather than actually being in a center back position, I think Paraguay do a little bit less, to be completely honest. I think this game's even more physical, even tighter. I think Mexico would get at least a draw in that sense. So I agree. My view is still positive and optimistic in the sense that Mexico faces a team like Paraguay who are very good in the World Cup. I would actually back Mexico to get the result, especially at home.
Yeah, I think the Montes decision is interesting and Vasquez's decision is interesting. I will criticize Aguirre for that because he's obviously not trying to do what Pacha's doing.
Right.
We have no point to test out our depth. I think really the only place we should be doing that is in the winger positions. Mm-hmm. Defensively, there's no question, bro. It's the best duo in North America, in my opinion, Cesar Montes and Johan Vasquez. Mm-hmm. We have a good South American team going up against us. Why are we trying Edson and Chiquete Orozco, bro?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. And I think the lack of showed in those two goals with the defender playing way too off of that Paraguayan forward in that first goal, and then that scramble. Just complete chaos back there. Yeah. But I just have to make it clear, man, because this is going to be my stance until the next time Mexico plays, and honestly, until Mexico gets eliminated in the World Cup. I've been catching a lot of flack for my optimism with this Mexican national team when obviously a lot of the narrative, a lot of the headlines are the fact that we technically haven't won in 4 or 5 matches. We haven't proven ourselves like how the USA has gotten actual victories in these friendlies. But I just want to describe my perspective, man, because the sentiment I'm getting from Mexico fans, especially looking at our DMs after this game, looking at the headlines, people think we're going to get grouped at the World Cup.
That's not going to happen.
And I just don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's
I
not.
really don't think we'll get grouped at the World Cup. One, because of the format. The format makes it way more tough to get grouped. I think even third place teams can go through now, depending on standings. Second, we're a pot 1 team because we're hosts, so we're probably going to get a much more easier group than we would have if we qualified through naturally. And then 3, we're playing at home. This team is good enough. This team has shown in these friendlies that, yes, we can't beat these teams, but we are at their level. We've drawn against the best teams in Asia and South Korea and Japan. We've drawn against Uruguay and Ecuador, who were 2nd and 4th place in CONMEBOL. Yes, we lost to Colombia. Yes, we lost to Switzerland. These are teams that are in the top 10 in the international rankings of the world, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're at that level. I'm just saying we're good enough to get out of our group. We're good enough to win that round of 32 matchup and potentially go out in the round of 16. All things considered, not the worst thing, bro. So you can say I'm drinking the copium because I'm downing that shit, bro. I'm downing it. But when we were getting knocked out of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, when we were losing to Qatar just a few years ago at the Gold Cup, when I compared those experiences to what we have now, this is good, bro. This is good. And once again, it just disappoints me that I'm hearing boos at the stadium with Malagon getting booed, with the performances getting booed. This was a good Paraguay team. We showed we're at their level. Don't overreact. It's a friendly. Yeah. We are fine. We're going to get out of the group. That's all.
Another thing I want to remind people, and this goes to your point here, 2016 Euros, Portugal tied their way to the final. They drew all 3 group stage matches.
Ecuador fans, listen up.
Yeah, exactly. They drew all 3 group stage matches, and almost every game in the knockout stage went into extra time because they just kept the game tied. And look at what Croatia did in 2018. Every single one of their games in knockout rounds went to extra time because they couldn't win a match in 90 minutes. Mexico's ability so far to keep most games tight, I think is as good as it's going to get. And you should be excited about that, especially because if you get a good draw on the group stage, then you could actually back yourself to top the group and then face a third place team in the knockout round.
Crazy.
And then all of a sudden you're in a round of 16 match, and maybe you get lucky on that draw there too, and you have a genuine chance to go to the quarterfinals. And all of these games are at home on Mexican soil. I actually think Mexico are having a fantastic World Cup. I'm right there with you. I don't really care how they're playing right now, because what I do see, it's overall good. It could be so much worse for Mexico, and it really isn't that.
I think it's when I saw the reaction to the Colombia game that kind of reminded me that people are going to react crazy to what is ultimately friendly matches. These aren't World Cup qualifiers, bro. Like, there's only a certain amount of stakes that you can put into these games. And yes, they're the only matches that we're going to have in the build-up to the World Cup. But that is the curse of being a host. And I think the reward is that you get to host the tournament. Yes, you don't get tested in the build-up truly, fully, but you get to host the tournament, bro. And that's a huge advantage that's given to these teams. Look, I will concede. I will give up my position if Mexico gets knocked out before the round of 32. Or in the round of 32. If we lose there, I will do whatever the comments say. I will fully agree with what the mainstream thought is of this Mexican national team. But if we go round of 16 or further, I think that's a win, all things considered, bro. And I think it's just harsh the way this team has been getting treated if eventually that is what their destiny is going to be, a top 16 team in the world. Folks, that's the Mexico-Paraguay game. Let me know down below, what did y'all think? This was a crazy match. And just a lot of takeaways there. So let's get into actual World Cup qualifying matches, bro, because I only have one. Oh, damn, now that I think about it, I had one place to start. Dude, with what just happened.
You can start anywhere. Like, that's the thing. There's drama in every single World Cup area that happened today, man.
I mean, let's just keep it CONCACAF.
Let's keep it CONCACAF, please.
Folks, we have Curacao, we have Haiti, and we have Panama going through, but then also drama regarding the second place teams and who ends up going through into the Inter-Confederation playoff, because Suriname scores a last-minute goal to kick Honduras out of the World Cup and insert themselves into the Inter-Confederation playoff. We have crazy stories developing here, brother. Crazy stories. Our reporter, Soltero, is on the scene. Where are you taking us first? Where were you at? What were you watching? This is insane.
I had my eyes glued to Jamaica, Curacao, because I needed to know, could Curacao qualify automatically to the World Cup? They just needed a draw. My God, this got close. This got as close as it possibly could for Curacao. And usually, when it comes to teams who have never made history before, they usually end up on the bad side of this.
Dude, for real.
I've never seen it get so close for a team to not win, but still somehow pull through. They still somehow pulled through here. Jamaica hit the crossbar 3 times. 3 times. There was a penalty that was called at the very end.
That was a scary moment.
And it was very close. It was very close. Ultimately, I think the ref did make the right decision. Antonis did get the ball first, but there was contact, but he got the ball first. No penalty, no controversy. Curacao themselves had chances throughout this match, but Jamaica had like 10 half chances, man. They did everything that they possibly could, but somehow Curacao kept it out. They kept the clean sheet on the road and qualified automatically to the World Cup, becoming the smallest nation ever to qualify for a World Cup.
Unreal scenes, bro. They got the result away from home. Away from home. That does not happen for teams like Curacao. Historically, it just doesn't happen. This is history. It's an amazing result from my Curacao people. Congratulations to y'all. They are not just going to the Inter-Confederation playoff. They're going automatically, bro, to the World Cup. Man. The stress of the Inter-Confederation playoff is gone. They don't have to worry about that because they ultimately had a perfect campaign, not losing a single game. I cannot believe it. Going into this World Cup qualification, no one thought Curacao would be able to pull this off. And little by little, they proved themselves in these matches, going up against the toughest team in this group in Jamaica, away from home, getting a clean sheet, all things considered. Their goalkeeper had a crazy game with some amazing saves. Curacao, bro. It low-key brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
It's insane what they've done. One of the best stories in football. Them and Cape Verde with that blue toned flag, making it to the World Cup as very small nations. It's insane, bro. I can't believe it. Curacao, congratulations. You are through. And Jamaica does solidify their path into the Inter-Confederation playoff, where they definitely will be a threat to potentially get out of.
Yeah, honestly, I think if Jamaica can get a good draw in the Inter-Confederational playoff, they'll have a really, really good chance. But man, if you were at this game, or if you're a Jamaican fan watching this must be tough, because I mean, those chances in the first half around the 15th minute, there was 2 back-to-back chances for Jamaica, but Eloy Room showing up big for Curacao and just basically blocking point-blank shots. Ridiculous. But if you're Jamaica, you gotta finish one of those. You just have to, man. But they couldn't. They just couldn't.
I don't know what to
Luck
tell you.
was on Curaçao's side today fully for the entire 90 minutes. You're punching the air if you're Jamaica, bro.
Yeah.
You really are.
You're frustrated.
You're so frustrated. It should have gone your way. At least just get to 1 goal. It just didn't happen.
And now there's more work to do. And yeah, it could determine their World Cup qualifying path. This could determine it. Hopefully it doesn't, but it could. Haiti, they solidify qualification as well. A story equally as good as Curaçao's, bro, because this is insane. I can't believe I'm saying this, and not in a bad way. I'm just saying Haiti, I can't believe it. They've done it, bro. They've done it. 2-0 victory against Nicaragua. Dietzen and Providence scoring in this game. A 2-0 victory solidifies first place for them as Honduras and Costa Rica tie 0-0 in Costa Rica. Haiti leaving no doubt, bro. Yeah. No doubt. 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. Best team in this group. A well-deserved qualification to the World Cup. I'm so excited to see the Haitian people in the States.
That's what stands out, though. In a group with Honduras and Costa Rica, AT are the definitive best team in this group. You look at all 6 games that were played, and it makes so much sense when you look at the football that they've played, every game that they had to go through, especially that crazy Costa Rica game, the game against Honduras. AT completely deserved to top this group. That first goal in this match against Nicaragua, Dietzen gliding across the top of the box, then reversing it. It's a beautiful goal, and it's so exemplary of how offensive and creative this team really is. It's so deserved when you look at the poor football that Costa Rica and even Honduras have played in this group. AT to the World Cup. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So well deserved. It's just such a crazy story. I can't believe this is happening, but it's the beauty of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying and not having USA, Mexico, or Canada involved. It leaves the door open for these stories to happen, and I just can't believe that they actually ended up happening, because I thought Honduras would top this group.
Same.
Which, by the way, insane bottle job by them, and they should have gotten results. Costa Rica makes sense; they're just not at the level. I'm a little frustrated that neither team ultimately won that game. I think at the very least one team should have won, but both teams end up getting bitten in the ass because Suriname loses to Guatemala 3-1, who all of a sudden decided to show up.
Yeah.
But that one sole goal that Suriname got was enough to get them equal on goal differential with Honduras in second place. Mm-hmm. And so I believe you look at goals scored overall throughout this qualifying cycle, and Suriname had the advantage going into that. They end up qualifying into the Inter-Confederation playoff, while Panama wins 3-0 against El Salvador and topped their group. Panama qualifying to the World Cup.
Panama qualifying to the World Cup. This makes sense when you look at how Panama set themselves up. They just needed to win, and honestly hope that Guatemala would get something on Suriname. That we kind of noted that was probably going to happen unless Suriname did something crazy. But Panama taking care of business. Finally taking care of business here. An easy 3-win at home against El Salvador. But for me, dude, I just can't help but look at Costa Rica and Honduras and be like, what the hell happened here, man? You were worried about Honduras. I was worried about Costa Rica. Ends up both of them not going.
Scoring an own goal, help the other team at that point, bro.
Do something, man. A winner there would have knocked Suriname out.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, because when the final whistle blew, both teams fell to their knees.
Yeah.
I'm like, one of y'all could have avoided this. What But I mean, all the better for Suriname.
That's the thing, though. You look at Costa Rica throughout this whole qualifying campaign. I don't think we've really said one positive thing about them the entire 6 matches, man.
It's been tough.
It's been so tough. From the moment this qualifying campaign started, man, there was just very, very little hope for Costa Rica. And Honduras, they were top of this group the whole time until this match. The whole time until this match when they just needed to get a goal. And
Well, yeah, what do you have to say about Honduras, bro?
it's just history repeating itself, man. It's so unfortunate because they worked so hard in this group. They really did. And the 3-0 win against Haiti, it looked like Honduras were going to be able to pull this off, but just a couple of weird results. You can't lose to Nicaragua. You can't lose to Nicaragua.
Well, Honduras can. That's the thing.
And that's the
Honduras
problem.
can.
And because of that, they're now not going to the World Cup. It's so frustrating, so disappointing, specifically if you're an Honduras fan. But man, this has just been the experience for Honduras for like the last 10 years, honestly.
If you're an Honduran, please comment down below. I know a lot of Honduras fans watch the show. Let me know your thoughts because it seems like El Salvador knew they were out of it. Mm-hmm. It seems like Guatemala going into his last match today, they knew. Honduras still had it there, bro. They had it there, and they just weren't able to do it. It's disappointing. But Suriname, the dream stays alive as they go into the Inter-Confederation playoff. I can't believe it. Incredible stories in CONCACAF. And looking at the Inter-Confederation playoff, it's going to be a bloodbath. The way this thing works, I'll put the graphic up right here. DR Congo and Iraq will get buys into the next round because they are the two highest ranked teams out of the remaining teams in the Inter-Confederation playoffs. So those two teams really benefit from their ranking. They are the best teams on paper going into this, but it's going to get crazy because you have Bolivia, Jamaica, Suriname, and New Caledonia falling into a draw to determine who faces off against one another. Winners of those first round matches then play against either DR Congo or Iraq to then go through. So it's going to get crazy. Jamaica, Suriname, they have to win 2 games in a row to go to the World Cup. These games will be played in Mexico in March 2026.
Yeah.
Bolivia will be looking to make history. New Caledonia. I mean, low-key, that's the team that you want to draw.
Oh, dude, you're
that's the team you want to draw, man.
Draw them, bro. If you get New Caledonia, you're celebrating almost immediately. No disrespect, but it should be a win, kind of no matter who you are.
Looking at the teams remaining, though, without knowing the draw, just picking the 2 best teams, who would you say goes through?
Damn.
I think for sure DR Congo.
For sure, DR Congo. If they don't make it, it'll be one of the most embarrassing bottle jobs out of all of these teams. Thing is, if Bolivia can bring the Bolivian atmosphere to Mexico, I don't know how, but if they can do that, I think they're the second best team here. I really do think so.
I need a Suriname-Bolivia matchup. I need that, bro. Because Bolivia plays a certain way outside of Bolivia.
I know.
And especially outside of South America.
Oh, yeah.
How does Suriname play against Bolivia? How does Jamaica play against Bolivia in Mexico? I think that'd be really interesting. Obviously, a lot depends on the draw. But yeah, if we get like a Bolivia, Iraq on the other side of the bracket, I don't know if I could say with 100% that Iraq wins that game.
I think that would be as tight as it gets. Bolivia, Iraq, I think is insanely tight.
I'm rooting for Suriname, for Iraq, and Congo. If 2 of those 3 teams can go through, I'd be a happy man. Yeah. That's just me and my allegiance to the teams remaining.
And it really is crazy that Suriname are here. Because for a second there, when they conceded that 3rd goal, I was like, wow, they're botching this. Because they could have just lost this 1-0 and they still would have comfortably finished over Honduras. But that to concede 3 goals, I was like, "Oh God, this is ending horribly for them." But the goal they ended up getting too was pretty lucky. It was an own goal just off of a cross. Suriname insanely lucky to be here at the end of the day, especially considering that they also needed to rely on just a goalless draw in Costa Rica.
Jeez, you mentioned that. I mean, they talked about the DR Congo pulling off voodoo in the penalty shootout.
Right.
Maybe Suriname has something going on behind the scenes, man.
I don't know, man, but it worked. Whatever it was, it worked because they're literally here just by an own goal.
It worked, baby. The Inter-Confederation play is going to be crazy. Folks, let us know what you think about the results there. Who's going to end up winning? UEFA. Let's go on over to Europe where we had crazy outcomes, crazy results. And for me, the nominee and the pick for game of the day. It's Scotland versus Denmark.
Oh my God.
It's Scotland versus Denmark. The Hampden Heroes, as Scotland faces adversity time and time again in this match, but comes out on top, winning 4-2 against a Danish team that came to challenge them, came to play them, but just weren't good enough. Scotland, a historic result as they qualified to the World Cup for the first time since the 90s, I believe. The Scottish are coming to the U.S., brother, and I'm so excited to welcome them, bro. What a big result.
Possibly the greatest Scottish match of all time. Definitely 3 of the craziest Scottish goals ever scored in Scotland's 150-year history. It's ridiculous what we witnessed in Glasgow against Denmark. I mean, starting off with McTominay's bicycle kick.
Goal of the day.
Just ridiculous, man.
I can't
Serie A Player of the Year, showcasing why that is the case, but just ridiculous. Then I loved how slow it was too.
Yeah.
The way that ball just kind of floated in the air, and you were thinking like, he could bite this. He could bite this, and he did. That's the crazy thing. He did. He showed up to the occasion that he was asked to, and he fully puts it in. Scotland go up 1-0. Crazy thing is, Denmark actually outplayed them for the next 50 minutes.
They settled into the game really well.
Really well.
Uncomfortably well.
Yeah.
If you're rooting for Scotland.
I was actually very concerned at that point because I was like, damn, that bike's going to be for nothing. Because I genuinely thought once Denmark turned it around that they were going to go on to win this game. Keep in mind that Scotland had to win this match. A draw would not have been enough. They had to outright win this game. Scotland actually flip it again. They go up 2-1. A weird occurrence, the ball just flashes across the Danish backline. Shanklin's there to make it 2 for Scotland. But then 4 minutes later, Dorgu with a beautiful slot finish. And that felt like the dagger. I thought the game was done. It was the 85th minute. I was like, that's it. Scotland's not getting a third goal. They've done everything to get 2. There's no way they have anything left to get a third goal.
And they did that while being down a man. That's the thing about that Dorgu goal.
Yeah, even worse.
They were down a man. They had no business being in their final third, and to concede a goal like that, freezing the keeper in the process too. It was... I agree. I felt very down on the Scottish when that goal happened.
But then Kieran Tierney, with possibly the greatest Scottish goal of all time, man.
I think so. In terms of meaning?
I just can't believe it, dude. I've rewatched that moment with the commentary and everything at least 20 times today. It still gives me goosebumps, man.
I can't believe
What
it.
a finish. And when Tierney turns around and gets engulfed by his teammates, he's like blacked out. I don't think he knows where he is for 5 seconds.
Which is what baffles me about the shot, because it's not an easy shot to hit, bro.
It's crazy,
the
man.
ball's coming at him, and he decides to go with that finesse curl finish, and it's perfect. It's perfect. It's like he just suddenly snapped into training ground mode, forgot the situation, and he finishes it off beautifully from outside the box. Schmeichel can't even get close to him. The defenders, low-key, touches the defender's face. It's crazy. Gives Scotland the 3-2 lead. McTominay runs away with the corner flag. It's just crazy scenes. It's crazy scenes. Bro. Scotland goes up 3-2, and then you see Denmark just throw everything at Scotland, resulting in arguably another goal of the day nominee.
It's insane, man. And what a way to score the goal that ultimately gets you into the World Cup.
Yes.
This is how you go to the World Cup in style. Half-field shot. And it is perfect, man. He doesn't really use any curl. It's straight on. You rarely see these type of ones. Schmeichel has no chance.
No chance.
And the crowd goes fucking wild, man. Wild. Yeah. I've been rewatching the Irish highlights from Saturday, Sunday. This I think for me, this tops it.
It might top
this tops it.
It had 2 daggers, bro. 2 daggers. And I've been rewatching a lot of the bar reactions from Scottish fans, either in Scotland or in the States. Those are incredible to watch. I recommend, because the reactions I'm getting from so many Scottish fans, people crying, people screaming. But getting that dagger goal like that, it's the cherry on top, bro. You're dunking on this Danish team, who we'll get into in a second, bro. In a second, I'll get into this Danish team. But to finish off, Scotland just has an absolute party in their own country. They get the incredible result that was in doubt for most of this game. Yeah. And, I mean, they just make history, bro. First time since, I think, 1998. Scotland, the Irish, they're all going to be in the USA, bro. It's going to be an absolute party.
Yeah, it's nuts. There's actually potential for the entire British Isles to be at the USA World Cup.
Right, because Northern Ireland's still alive.
Northern Ireland's still alive. Wales is still alive.
Wales, wow.
And Ireland's still alive, right?
Yeah.
So 3 teams have to try and get through the playoffs, but England and Scotland directly through.
Amazing. Yeah, I want to see it. I think their fan base would really showcase itself in the States because I know Irish people. I don't know if I know a Scottish person, but I know Irish people. And a victory like this for the Scottish, bro, is going to be amazing. Denmark,
man. We talked about this, though. This is their fault when they didn't get the win against Belarus.
That's all it is.
This is their fault, man.
That's all it
is. They put themselves in this hole, and they couldn't get out.
Yeah, that's all it is. And I think the Danish know that.
Yeah, they know.
They recognize that.
Yep.
So, back to work. Let's get to work in the playoffs.
Playoffs, baby.
That's all there is to it for the Danish.
Yeah.
Frustrating, man. Frustrating result for the Danish. We had other big results in Europe. Looking at Austria time, Bosnia and Herzegovina at home, solidifying qualification for themselves. Bosnia going up in this game, though, and for a minute having that chance of hopping over Austria in the standings and getting automatic qualification, but Gregoric responds for Austria and solidifies it.
Yeah, it's a hell of a goal from Gregoric. Off the rebound, comes in flying to smash at home, getting the goal that puts Austria in automatically to the World Cup. This was not easy for Austria, though. Bosnia made it as difficult as possible. If anything, Austria, I would consider them a little lucky. I would consider them lucky in this match. Bosnia created several half chances that maybe on a different day they go in.
Yeah.
Austria playing with fire in this match, but they did what had to be done, get the draw. They did it.
They did it.
They did it. Like, it was not pretty. I thought Austria were going to really dominate this match at home to kind of prove a point here. They didn't. This was Bosnian football frustrating the Austrians. That's what happened in this match. A draw is fair. Unfortunately for Bosnia, it's not enough to go to the World Cup yet.
Not yet. But a good showing from the Bosnians.
Great.
And for Austria, I hadn't realized, but it's been a while since they've been at a World Cup. So for them, it's also pretty notable that they're qualifying automatically. I think it's one of the benefits of the expanded World Cup, but Austria is absolutely deserving. They are a team that should be at the World Cup because I do think they're a dangerous national team at their best. So I'm happy to see the Austrians, who ultimately were the best team in this group, Bosnia to the playoff. And the last notable result, I would say, in terms of playoff seeding and standings is the Wales North Macedonia thrashing 7-1. 7-1 for Wales.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever seen Wales score more than 3 goals maybe.
Is that might be why it was so off-putting to see it. I've never seen it.
Bro.
I've never seen something like that.
Yeah, Wales and the number 7. It's just, I don't know if we'll ever see it again, to be honest. But Wilson having an insane game. Brooks, Brandon Johnson getting a really good goal off a little deflection. But this was impressive from the Welsh. Unfortunately for both Wales and North Macedonia, there's still playoff football to be had.
They're both through. Let me pull up the graphic right now on editor. Let's put it right here on this side. Pot 1, Italy, Denmark, Turkey, Ukraine. Pot 2, Poland, Wales, Czechia, Slovakia. Pot 3, Ireland, Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, baby. Pot 4, Sweden, Romania, North Macedonia, and Northern Ireland. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Dude, Pot 3 is stacked, bro. I consider Bosnia and Kosovo to be one of the better teams in the playoffs.
And then Albania's
feisty. They're tough. They're tough.
And Ireland.
And Ireland, you don't want to play in Dublin. You don't want to play in Dublin, bro.
You don't.
So that if you get drawn against a Pot 3 team, unless it's Albania, maybe I would be very, very worried.
Yeah, I want to make predictions, but it's tough for this because it's all depending on the draw. It really is.
We wait.
So let's wait on this one, but I mean, it won't be easy for Italy. It won't be easy for Poland. I mean, for none of these teams, it's going to be easy, bro. Sweden, the way I've seen them play, they tied today as well. They might not make it out, bro. And they're giving another chance at life in the journey to the World Cup. They might not take advantage. It's going to be fun to watch, though. It's going to be fun to watch. And it's going to be in March of next year, I believe. So I can't wait. Big games awaiting in UEFA, but big stories already happening with Scotland going through, Austria going through, and obviously other big teams just solidifying their path, like Spain going through, Belgium just solidified it. I mentioned it earlier. Those are the teams that end up going through, but we kind of already knew those teams would end up qualifying. The UEFA region, man, what a dramatic final day of results.
Oh my God, man.
Let's head on over to Asia. let's head on over to Asia, where I think once again it delivered, bro. It delivered, man. Every region delivered. Iraq pulls off an incredible comeback. An incredible comeback after going down 1-0 to UAE, and UAE looking like the team that's going to progress through. Iraq gets a goal from Ali in the 66th minute, but then finally, in the 107th minute of this game, penalty is called. Handball. Handball. Up steps Al-Amari with the nation on his back with the huge, nerve-wracking penalty. I was nervous watching it, bro. Dude, I was legit nervous as he stepped up in a crazy 70K filled stadium, and he puts it top left corner, bro. Banger of a penalty. Celebrations ensue, and Iraq progresses through with a comeback.
This is an insane moment in front of the beautiful home crowd in Basra, Iraq.
Whoa, look at you.
The amount of time it took, right, because of the VAR, the situation, then for the players to settle down and accept that it was going to be a penalty, that buildup just got me so anxious. And then it was actually Mohamed Ali who grabbed the ball, and he was at the spot. And the thing is, he had missed several chances before this penalty shot. I was like, I don't trust him. I don't trust him to take this penalty. Somebody change this. Arnold, change this. Zidan Iqbal then goes out to him and he's like, hey, you want to do
a baller, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Mohan's like, no, I got this. And I'm like, shit, man. And then the camera cuts and then cuts back and it's Al-Amadi with the ball. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? It was just an insane buildup. And then finally, like 10 minutes later, after the penalty was initially called, the moment comes. Yeah. And the rest is history. Iraq through to the Inter-Confederational playoff. Ridiculous moment and a beautiful, beautiful one for Iraq.
Iraq fans, I know y'all are watching. Comment down below. W's in the chat. I mean, Iraq, I felt happy seeing this.
Yeah.
I know that I've been down on them with their performances since basically the Asian Cup ended. And I think they know that. I think they saw what happened at that tournament, and what's happened since hasn't been the best football, but my God, bro, they figured it out. They've done just enough to go through in what is a very difficult region to qualify out of. Yes, it's not automatic qualification yet, but the dream remains alive, and they have a bye to the next round in the Inter-Confederation playoff. I mean, ultimately, this is good. This is good for Iraq. The chance is there. One game to determine whether you want to go to the World Cup or not against a very feisty, either South American, North American, or Oceanic opponent. Let's see it, bro. Let's see it. If Iraq wants to be here, they have the chance. The opportunity is finally there. I'm so happy for the Iraq people. This is a huge result. And to do it in comeback fashion is crazy. I can't imagine the emotions that they experienced watching this game. I was nervous watching a friendly with Mexico. Yeah. This is real stakes here, bro.
Yeah,
and Iraq pulled it off. Congratulations to them.
And then for every for every beautiful story, there's a really depressing one, man. What a way to go out if you're UAE. Like,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Like, just a random handball. I don't even blame the player, like, at all.
Yeah, he was
like, at all, man. Like, the hands up, he's going for the header. It ends up hitting his arm. There's nothing you can do. Yeah. But it is a penalty, and it's a harsh one. Might be the harshest penalty. I don't know if neither will ever forget that moment.
No, I don't think so.
Because it defines UAE's inability to just get to a World Cup, man. They tried. There's nothing between these sides. We noted it going into this two-legged affair. Iraq and UAE is as 50-50 as it gets, man. And it needed to be a crazy penalty to separate them, and it went Iraq's way.
Yeah. No, you're right. I feel for UAE. It is tough, but that's World Cup qualifying. It's brutal. It's brutal, and Iraq ends up benefiting. Congratulations to them. Before we go into Linked Up by Verizon or Daily Awards, any comments on the friendly results that we've seen? Brazil tied Tunisia, Canada defeated Venezuela. Anything catch your eye? Because there were some crazy results on paper.
Staying in Asia, actually, Uzbekistan got invited to a UAE little mini tournament that had Cape Verde, Egypt, and Iran participate.
Okay.
Uzbekistan's first match was against Egypt. They beat them 2-0.
Interesting. Did Salah play?
Salah was there.
Oh, no.
Salah was playing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, Uzbekistan.
And Uzbekistan. Exactly. If you've been watching Give and Go for a while now, you know that I'm a massive Uzbekistan fan. They kill me, though. They kill me because just the style of football. It's so risky, man. But against Egypt on the day, double from my boy Oston Uronov, who I consider to be one of the most dynamic wingers in all of Asia. And it's actually funny because it's on the Fox Deportes channel, and they had South American commentators, and the South American commentator was so impressed with Uronov because he was balling out, bro. He was the first goal he scored. Go watch this if you haven't seen it. He dribbles through 5 players.
Oh my god,
it's ridiculous. But after he scored that, he was like, dude, I need to call Peñarol and see how much this guy costs. He was playing that good, bro.
Damn.
He would cook in South America if he was playing there, man. But yeah, Uzbekistan go there. They go to the technical final, which was today against Iran.
Hey, play again, dude?
And they won on penalties.
Wow.
Uzbekistan, champions of the Little Al Ain international friendly tournament. So it's good.
Wow.
Good for Asian football as Uzbekistan, who are already qualified to the World Cup, looking to make waves somehow, some way in 2026.
That's true. They qualified so long ago that I haven't even thought about them.
Yeah, man. It's been a while.
They're waiting, and to see them continue their momentum is huge. I love it.
Gotcha.
I do feel like I've seen Uzbekistan play Iran a lot lately, and it's always been tight between those two teams.
It's super tight, man.
It's been tight.
Uzbekistan really can't figure him out.
Yeah, for real. But congratulations to Uzbekistan. Huge results. Yeah. I'm looking at other games. Japan defeated Bolivia 3-0. South Korea defeated Ghana 1-0. Chile defeat Peru in a mid-off 2-1. Dude, it's friendlies and they decide to play each other.
I know,
like,
man.
Go play in Africa,
rest,
bro. Or
go rest.
That too. Faroe Islands defeated Kazakhstan 1-0. Mm-hmm. Argentina played against Angola. Yep. Messi scored his first goal ever in Africa because he didn't score the 2010 World Cup. Ronaldo fans were quick to make that clear. What else, man? What else? I'm looking at Canada tied Ecuador 0-0. Ecuador continues tying. Yep. Friendlies, bro. Friendlies. They generate some of the funniest results you'll see, man.
Absolutely. That yeah, I know. That's why I do miss it when the hosts don't have competitive matches.
Yeah.
It does kind of suck. I've actually missed it for the USA specifically. Mm-hmm. Like, I miss competitive match. Our last one was basically Copa America. If you just don't look at Gold Cup, essentially.
We get to host. That's the reward. That's the reward. We get to host. Folks, let's do Linked Up by Verizon, where we answer your questions that you submit on Instagram. Today's question comes from 98J Mag, who says, what's your favorite World Cup goal since 2000? If you want, I can go ahead because I got mine.
You already got yours?
Yeah, I already thought about mine.
I'm thinking of several.
That's the thing.
I'm thinking of several, man. For the first one that comes to mind, though, and every time I hear the words World Cup and greatest goal, I just think of Pavard's goal in 2018, man.
That's my pick, brother.
I don't know if I've ever seen a prettier. It's like one of the prettiest goals I've ever seen.
It's the most beautiful goal we've seen at the World Cup. The French Pavard turns into a painter and swipes at the ball like how Picasso swipes at a blank canvas, and he absolutely curls it into the back of the net. It's the most aesthetically pleasing goal I think I've ever seen.
Yep.
The moment as France defeated Argentina 4-3 in that game, it's ridiculous techers, ridiculous quality, ridiculous technique. It's the best goal I've ever seen in terms of just what looks good to me, man. Yeah. It's a beauty. No, never mind. I don't want to go too far.
No, I would marry that goal, man. Okay. It's gorgeous. It's like the prettiest thing I've seen, man.
But I did want to nominate a goal that I believe to be very underrated. When the question is best goal since 2000, I feel like it just doesn't get enough credit because maybe it wasn't as aesthetically pleasing. But you look at the moment, you look at what it meant, what it ultimately determined in this match. I think Mbappe's second goal at the FIFA World Cup, where he receives, I think it's off a Kolomuani header where he returns the ball. The technique to hit that from, I think it's still outside the box, right when they had scored to make it 2-1, minutes later to hit it like that, strike it into the bottom right corner with so much force that Emi Martinez can only deflect it and it goes in. It's a ridiculous goal to score with such ridiculous quality on display. And I feel like it just kind of gets overlooked because obviously Mbappe is so good, but any other player does that, and you're looking at that as one of the highest quality goals ever scored at the World Cup, given the moment as well. You're chasing the score 2-1 in a World Cup final, 81st minute. You need to tie it, and you score that? That's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Hat-trick in the final, one of the greatest performances ever.
Let's not go back to 2022, man. Let's not go back there, bro. Let's not.
Let's do daily awards, goal of the day, performance of the day, match of the day. I think there's some good nominees in every single category. Let's start with the easiest one. Match of the day. I mean, is it Curacao, Jamaica, or is it Scotland, Denmark?
It's Scotland, Denmark, man.
USA, Uruguay?
It's Scotland, Denmark.
Okay, it's Scotland, Denmark.
Come on, man.
No doubt.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, man.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous. The way it ended, the last 10, 15 minutes, just ridiculous. And the goals scored, banger after banger after banger. And I love that it was in front of the Scottish crowd. Like, if you were there, probably the greatest football match you might ever witness live.
Dude, 100%, man, 100%. And I was looking at X, and there was a Scottish fan that like literally ranked them. He was like top 5 Scottish goals in history, and literally the top 3 was Scott McTominay 3rd minute, McLean 4th minute. Like, the top 3 goals in their history were scored in one game.
Exactly.
I genuinely do believe that. Performance of the day? Who are you going with performance of the day? Because there wasn't a parrot-like situation here where one player went off. It was a collective team effort for Scotland. But USA has some good players, good performances. I'm looking at...
I'm going Tierney, man.
Okay.
The
game winner.
The game winner. How cold you have to be to step up to a situation like that in front of 60,000 people. And you put a nation on your back and you say, I got this. Just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
And the technique, the curl, the power, it was all there. And it's just one of the greatest goals. And again, for me, it just takes a top player to do that. Tierney, in that moment, got possessed. He got possessed,
I think so. I'm going to go Alamari. It's a huge pen. It's just a huge pen, bro. I don't think like 6 people in the country of Iraq could have taken that pen, and he was one of them. So beautiful goal, huge for them. Give it to Alamari because of the moment for me.
I like that.
Goal of the day though, it's a fun one. I'm going bicycle kick.
Same though.
It's just tough. It's
Come
tough
on,
to top
man.
it. Bicycle kick is crazy, and to start off the game like that, McTominay setting himself up as one of the greatest Scottish players of all time with that goal. It's beautiful. Goal of the day for me.
Yeah, same.
Folks, comment down below your daily awards, and comment down below any thoughts you had regarding the friendlies, the World Cup qualifiers, and the teams qualifying to the World Cup. It was a crazy international break and a privilege to bring you guys this coverage. We'll see you guys again, hopefully soon, regarding international football, kind of talking about the Inter-Confederation playoffs, or I don't know. We'll come up with some ideas for sure.
That and the draws in like 3 weeks.
That's when
or
we'll
like
see
2.5 weeks.
Shoot,
December 5th.
Bro,
It's crazy.
I didn't think about that.
We're gonna find out almost everything.
Oh no!
Almost
dude.
everything.
I thought it was farther away.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, we will know if Mexico's gonna
not
get
getting
quote
grouped,
unquote grouped.
We're not
We
getting
will
grouped.
know December 5th. It's crazy.
Folks, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.